Hello, everyone. We have something a little extra special today with an extra special person, Natalie Chen. I talk about Natalie probably more than I should on a show that I should be talking about everyone equally, but I just want to talk about you the whole time, which is Roller Jam. We go way back, as I probably have mentioned before. How old were you when I started teaching you?
I was 8 years old.
That's insane. And I was 18 years old because I'm 10 years older than you, which we realized when you turned 21 that I was like, whoa.
I have been competing in artistic roller skating since I was 6 years old. Started getting coached by Nikki when I was 8 years old. And I'm still competing in artistic roller skating, and now I compete in world-class dance.
Very proud, very proud. The people want to know a little bit about what your experience was like on Roller Jam. So I think you should have gotten a lot further in the competition. I know a lot of people agree with me. She was on Team Disco Oasis, who we love and adore, the teammates. Sorry, Daniela. I know you want to come on here and you will get a chance.
I came first.
Sorry. What was your experience like?
I mean, it was a whirlwind of emotions.
I bet it was.
I mean, we didn't know who we were competing against at first, so we just kind of went in blind, and the first day being there, my jaw was on the floor, and I saw teams that I've never seen before, skaters I've never known before, and also teams I'm like, oh no, we need to step up our A game. Okay, this is not going to be an easy competition. This is definitely going to be a hard one. And seeing so many skaters that were our friends was like the hardest part, because we want to be nice to them, we want to chit chat with them, but at the same time we have to keep our secrets from them, because I'm like, we're not letting you know what we have in store.
I love that so much, because your episode was episode 2 where you came on, and that was the one with honor roll and with skate gravity, with the difficult teams like that we knew would be difficult. So that is a little terrifying.
It was a little terrifying. On top of that, we couldn't see what any of the other routines were.
That's crazy to me. So they kept you guys away from each other?
Yeah, they did it so perfectly. So during our rehearsals, they made sure that we would never, if we were walking into the building that a team was practicing in, they make them stop so we can cross, and they had like a curtain between us so we can hear each other's music, but we can't see the routines. And so this is my first time seeing the routines, is watching the show.
That's so scary to me. Like, you know what you did in the competition, but you don't know what they're going to show of it?
Yes, and how they're going to show it. They use a lot of my facial reactions in this show, and I didn't know I was making those faces. I was just like, oh.
So perfect for television. If I didn't know you, I would be like, oh, she's a good actress. Like, she's turning it up. I knew it was genuinely her. That's just you.
Yeah, so. It's just me. I just make a lot of facial reactions. I don't speak. I like to just react.
That's same with me. That's why I haven't gotten Botox, because I'm afraid that like I'll lose my mobility. My A-E-I-O-U.
Oh, yes, the vowels.
You gotta have them. What was your favorite performance that you guys did?
It has to be the 70s number.
Okay. What song was that?
I Will Survive. We got to choose all of our songs that we performed to besides our 70s one.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Fun fact. Because we're competing another team and they didn't want to tell us what team we were competing against, they chose a song for us. We were dying for Le Freak, and we didn't get it.
Didn't someone get that?
Yeah. House of Skate and Hot Wheels
got it. Right.
And we wanted it so bad because we are the disco team. That is the most disco song that they played.
Yeah. That was the one you competed against, Lone Stars. Yeah, which was crazy to me that they would put you guys next to each other, because that's the most like similar.
Yeah.
I guess it's not really. Like maybe them against Skate Gravity would be more similar.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but at the same time, it kind of made sense.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to bring up the whole fact that we competed against each other and everything, but they didn't include that in it. As you've already talked about, me and Madison have competed against each other our whole lives.
Yeah.
And to see us stand next to each other and like, oh, we're competing against each other is the most safe feeling, because I know exactly how they skate, but at the same time terrifying, because Madison beats me all the time.
Not in 2019.
2019, I did beat her. But Madison, besides that, beats me all the
love
time.
Madison, but I taught her that year, and she won nationals, and it was a very big moment for us.
It was a very huge moment because this going too much into nationals, but it was very neck and neck. It was very neck and neck. And then at the very end, when I figured out I was first, I was like,
I have that video.
Technical elements 20.17, program components 14.40, segment score 8.78. This completes the score.
I think it was Avita that recorded it on the live stream, and it's so good. What was your least favorite
routine?
And then we'll go into moment. But
okay. My least favorite routine was obviously the one we got eliminated on.
It was so good, though. It wasn't bad in any sort of way.
We made that little behind the scenes. We made that routine the night before. We had a routine, and we completely scrapped it.
Because you didn't like it?
We liked it, but it wasn't strong enough. Yeah. We knew the scores that we were given, we needed to go higher and higher and higher. And we weren't just getting along together for the moves that we were doing, that old routine. And our biggest note on the 70s number was that we need to come in strong. Mm-hmm. And so we had a routine that was storytelling to My Boyfriend's Back. We had Josiah being the handsome boyfriend, the strong one, and then Aaron being more the jock and like the rebel one, and they're fighting each other and fighting over us over the whole time. And we try to keep that a little bit in the episode, but we just try to put more power into the routine.
Which is smart.
And sadly, that was still my least favorite routine. I didn't feel like we ended it on a bang. You kind of mentioned it in your review, is that since we put it together so last minute, we put so much effort into the whole routine that we kind of forgot about the ending or slapped on an ending at the end.
That makes sense.
But it was still a great routine.
It really
turned out
routine.
A lot better than I thought it was in the moment. But yes.
I'm still so mad about it. And I'm lucky, I'm glad that I wasn't alone in that, because I voiced how mad I was, and then I got so many comments and messages of people being like, I don't understand.
Yeah, it was honestly I was so mad also watching it in that moment because I was reliving everything.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's so sweet to hear so many people say they didn't agree with the results, and that validated my feelings.
For
and
sure.
it was nice to hear that back from so many people.
Yeah, and I watched it right before you texted me.
Yeah.
And I was livid. And I'm trying to tell Taylor why. And he's like, you sound like your friend just got eliminated from a show. You're not making sense as to why you're so mad. And I was like, well, I am mad because my friend got eliminated from the show, but there are reasons. And he's like, well, you have to explain the reasons. There were so many skills in your routines that it was so impressive. And I assume, I'm not the general public, but I assume the general public is like, wait, what is happening? Because they didn't even talk about Josiah's combo.
The combo jump, no.
And I didn't even notice it the first time. I noticed it when I was recording the breakdown. I was like, wait, what? And I rewound it because I was like, wait, he just did an Axel
Euler
Salchow, double Salchow. And I was like, damn, that's really hard and nobody's talking about it.
And he just casually just throws it in there and goes into the next thing.
No problem.
No problem at all.
I mean, it makes complete sense. Josiah and I were on the world team together.
Yeah.
He's been that good for that long. So it's, I'm still mad about it.
Like I said, we want to start off with a bang. We threw out trick, 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 trick.
And it was very impressive, so it's dumb. I'm mad. I mentioned this in the last breakdown video. I don't know if you can talk about this. I don't even know if you know this, but did they keep you there because they can bring a team back?
We actually chose to stay another week for our own fun. We didn't get to really see New Orleans while we were there. And so we wanted to take time just to make a little vacation out of it. And on top of that, we just made so many friends, and we're all staying in the same hotel with each other.
That's so fun.
And we didn't want to just leave the next day. Yeah. When you get eliminated, they put you on a flight the very next morning. You know
so sad.
How hard that is? I brought 100 pounds of luggage with me. 100 pounds.
That makes sense.
And so to pack that all up.
Suitcases can't be above 50, right?
50. On top of that, my skates and / carry-on.
What was your favorite, if not routine, but what was your favorite moment? What was your favorite moment that you experienced, and what was your favorite moment that they showed? Because those could be two different things.
That's a very good question. I think my favorite moment on the show, well, not moment, but favorite part of the show was meeting so many more skaters from so many more states that I didn't know had that. I didn't know Kansas City really had a skating culture, and same with Ohio. I think the favorite moment that they showed was when we got eliminated. House of Skate came and hugged us. Aww. They were supposed to just skate off to safety, and they actually just took a moment and hugged us, and we both cried in each other's arms. Because when we found out we were going against each other, we were so emotional because we were going against each other.
Yeah.
We grew closest with that team. The amount of times we got dinner with each other after set, we just bonded a lot. And so it's really hard to see one of us have to go home.
Yeah.
And so that was my favorite moment that they showed.
Even the premiere party thing in Venice.
Yeah.
I was there early, and House of Skate, it wasn't all of them. It was Laurent and Dawn.
Yeah.
They were both there, and it was like a moment where they're skating, like just having fun, being themselves. And I started skating just like alone by myself. And we just like looked at each other at one point, and we just, with a glance, told each other like each other was fabulous. And then like we skated a little more, and then finally I was like, you both are something else. Like you're amazing. And they're like, you're amazing. And then we had like a moment. And I was like, I don't know who you guys are, but I like you a lot.
They were so sweet.
Yeah.
And the craziest thing is because we couldn't watch each other when we were practicing, I didn't know Laurent could do all of that.
Insanity. Like,
if you zoom on my face when we're watching them, I'm literally, what?
What you said about meeting other people from other states, it's like we know artistic skating.
Yeah.
So to see all of those other styles, we've seen it all on the internet, sure, but seeing it in person is a completely different experience.
Oh, it's so different.
Yeah.
It's so different. Episode 5?
Yes.
Watching those routines in person was so, like, I wish the camera could capture the same energy that's in the building the way that it is live, because it's so nerve-wracking at the same time. Like every single step that they take, like you're wondering how they're gonna do it, how they're not gonna do it.
Do you think non-skaters have that reaction? Or do you think they're just like enamored?
Because of all the jobs I've done, I feel like they're just enamored.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like they have to be like, are they gonna fall? Are they gonna fall?
I think that was episode 4 with the judge was like, I'm in total mom mode right now. Like, I'm afraid for you.
Yes.
Yeah. Which is funny because most of the time, like doing jobs, you could do Josiah's combo and people are like, cool. And then you do a shoot the duck, like a very simple
And they
movement.
lose their mind.
Oh my God. And it's like, wait, what? Like, so doing the show, that's why with like you guys being eliminated, I was like, maybe it's one of those moments where like you're doing really difficult stuff and people don't necessarily appreciate it. And then like there's other more simple things that people are like, oh wow, I could see myself doing that. Like that's really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's one of those moments, but obviously I'm still mad about it because I keep bringing it up. The one episode, I assume I can ask this, was the floor slippery?
No.
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 Why did everyone look like the floor was slippery in episode 3 or 4?
70s. The 3rd episode.
Yeah, because it was the one where the Hot Wheels girls did the coffin. Why did everyone look like they were slipping?
I don't.
You guys didn't. It was you guys and Lone Stars didn't look like you were slipping.
I don't know why. I didn't hear about anybody saying it was slippery.
Okay.
But it's the national floor. That floor's sticky.
Yeah, it's fine.
And so I don't think anybody really had a problem with it.
What wheels did you use?
95s? 95s.
Yeah, 92s are too sticky for that floor.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were debating between 95s and 97s.
Ooh.
But, yeah.
That's roll line. Roll line, ice.
Yes.
Grease. Which one is it
Ice.
now? Ice.
Yes.
I always say it wrong because it used to be grease and now it's ice. It's something slippery. I know that. Last few questions that I have. What was your first impression when you got there? Like, the casting and all of that was kind of a long process. So then once you actually got there, were you nervous? I mean, obviously you said with those teams you were a little nervous, but like generally overall for the competition, were you nervous? Were you excited?
Actually, I was so cocky. I'm never cocky when it comes to my skating. I'm never cocky. But I was like, oh, we got this. We're totally going to make it the whole way.
That's
Our
so
only
funny.
competition is honor roll. Because that's the only crew I really knew how they skated. And skate gravity, I was like, I know the stunts that they're going to do. I've seen them skate. Honor roll, I know how they're going to skate, but we can't compete against that.
Yeah.
So we are so different that I was like, we're going to make it so far. And then it started to set in once we got our scores. I was like, oh, maybe we're not as good as I thought we were.
It's honestly so funny because you're right. You've never been that way about competition or anything. Like, I have to be that voice in your ear of like, you are the best. You can't do this. Because you have to have that, like, a little bit of it to compete well.
Yeah.
But you yourself kind of have to remain like, oh, this is the worst. I'm the worst. Like, a portion of you has to be humble about it. So that's really funny that is how you felt.
It was really crazy because Teresa and Aaron on my team have never seen Lone Stars compete before.
Oh, yeah.
Or skate at all.
Yeah.
And so I was telling them, like, be prepared to be amazed, but at the same time, we're going to beat them.
Yeah.
I was like, we can do so much that they can't do, and they can do stuff that we can't do.
Yeah.
But we're still going to win. I just know it.
It's totally the, like, world-class skater has the hardest time learning how to do crazy legs. But, like,
Yes.
someone who just started skating can learn how to do it. It's one of the weirdest things.
Because of the whole Venice celebration and all the celebrations in California, they came to Venice, and it was so cute. We were actually teaching them crazy legs, downtowns. Honor roll taught us like a little combo, and so they were learning that. It was so fantastic to watch. It's like, next thing I know at nationals, I'm gonna see you doing groundwork.
We better. Why not? Although, no, you can't touch the ground, can you?
For 8 seconds.
Okay, that's
A little
plenty of
something.
time. A little something. Aside from when you were there, when you got there, what was your first impression when you watched it? Was it how you thought it was going to be?
Yes and no. Because we filmed so much footage.
Yeah.
I
You have to.
totally didn't go into my editor brain being like, they're gonna put such a small amount. So when I'm watching, I'm like, oh, when are they gonna mention this? When are they gonna mention that? And I was like, oh, they didn't mention it at all.
At all.
Wow.
Did you talk about like you and Madison competing against each other?
I talked about it in like 5 interviews.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And they didn't use it.
Well, I talked about it in my breakdown.
Yeah. And we also filmed like a whole little moment of us walking into their dressing room, being like, I wish you guys good luck. You guys are going to do amazing. And we honestly were rooting for each other at the end of the day because we just wanted artistic to be shown. And we know they're good hands regardless of what team. And we have so much respect for each other. And so there's no hard feelings with it. Yeah.
I mean, truly, like, they talk about it a little bit in the show, but skaters are the most, like, caring people. Like, you really don't wish poorly on people.
No.
Even in competition. Like, that is bad karma to be like, oh, wow, I hope they do bad. Like, that's bad. You don't do that. So on a show like this, it seems cliche of like, oh, we really care about them. I hope they do well. It's very genuine. Like,
it's so genuine.
You won't make it very far if you are hoping bad things happen to other people. Like, genuine. And that's a good lesson in life. That's not just in skating.
Yeah.
That is really true in the skating community. I was worried that they would pin people against each other and like have people be mean. Because like,
oh no,
it's a competition.
Yeah. If anything, the teams were like so confident about their own things.
Yeah.
But we all wished each other good, and we knew that whoever they did end up choosing, they are amazing skaters, and they deserve to have that spotlight shown on them. So
yeah. That's beautiful. Well,
I can't wait to watch this finale episode.
It better be good, right? We are recording this before the finale.
I haven't seen the people's costumes yet.
Oh.
Again, I haven't seen any of the routines.
Oh. Okay, that makes sense. In any of the promo of this show?
Yes.
Okay. I have people like messaging me on Instagram that have drawn out like full diagrams, made documents of like, they showed these outfits and these teams and they included this and included this. So I think this person wins based on this. Like, they're doing math. People are into it.
Because we're all skaters, And we met in person in the skating community. Everybody remembers them by their Instagram handles.
Yes.
And I feel so bad sometimes I don't know their names.
You're-
Jamila. I never once saw her wear shoes. She only wears skates. And she will like talk about this in person. She finds skates more comfortable than shoes.
Didn't she get kicked out of some places or not be allowed in some places?
We are staying 1 block away from Bourbon Street. The road is terrible.
Yeah.
She's skating in Bourbon Street. When I met her in the hotel, she had skates on. Around the studio, always had skates on. We were dying to get our skates off. We're like, we don't have to skate. Let's take them off.
Even on the show, when they first introduced them, Michelle is not wearing skates. She's wearing shoes.
Yeah.
The other girl is wearing shoes.
She
and
rolls
she's
in.
wearing skates.
Yes. Always, always wearing skates.
That's really cute, though.
It's so cute.
I hope she like gives her feet time to rest, though. I just bought new toe spacers that I'm very excited about. They're right here. They're glitter. The glitter's not.
Do you
like-
stretch your toes?
Yeah.
All skaters, stretch your toes or you're gonna get bunions.
Well, I already have bunions, but roll your feet out too.
Yes.
Yeah. Look at these little guys.
It goes in between your big toe and the other toes.
Yeah, I'm not showing this on camera.
You have to pay for that. That's what the subscription is.
That's not what my membership is, though, I promise you. I teach you how to skate.
But do you actually stretch out your toes?
What do you mean?
Like, do you actually just take your big toe and just stretch it?
Yes.
And then do you try to hold it yourself?
Oh, I can't.
You gotta learn how to. The biggest thing that helped with my shin splints,
Really?
all skaters should do this, or again, you're gonna get bunions. I'm not a doctor, but all shoes are made to like compress your big toe nowadays. They're not actually comfortable for your big toe. And so because of skates and they're so rounded at the front, they push your big toe in. And so when you take off your skates, you should really be stretching it manually and then try to hold it out, your big toe out. Do reps with that. It trains that muscle to not get weak and get compressed, and that's what causes a bunion. Do feet exercises. It's good for you.
It is good for you. It actually helps like a lot of other things too. Like
Yeah.
when I roll my feet out, it's like there will be a pain somewhere else in my body and then it's gone.
Yes.
And I'm like,
Everything's connected. What? Everything's connected. If your feet are injured, then it's going to cause your knees to be injured. That causes your hips, then your back. It just goes.
she's smart.
I'm studying to be a physical therapist. The crew of the show, the filming crew, the producers, everyone on the show were the sweetest people.
That's so nice to hear.
And I got so many compliments on the show telling me from the person who was filming us to the mics. They were like, this show and filming you guys has made my career worth it. That was the best compliment I think I've ever gotten. Especially in those moments that like you're questioning yourself on a competition show and like if you're good enough, hearing that from other people.
Yeah, that's nice.
Oh, favorite part. That was my favorite part of the show that they didn't show. This show was the most physically demanding thing I think I've been a part of, and I've trained with world-class athletes for weeks.
Yeah.
And this was more physically demanding because it's a TV show. You are based on other people's schedules. And so sometimes you're just waiting around, waiting to be called for you to practice, and other times you're keep on warming up and then you keep on warming up for hours and you don't know. And so that was like, I think the hardest part about the show. Every waking moment you have, you're thinking about your routine. You're thinking about your skating. Then there's lunchtime and then we're all friends again. And then we go back into our rooms and we're like, okay, this. Okay, 8 count is on this. Like,
It's also hard, like in a scenario like that, you can't prepare for 2 weeks from now. You only have right now.
yeah.
And like in competition, like we know you have a short program, you have a long program, or you have this day you compete, you have this day, you know when your training is. So when you're on a show like that and you can't prepare for like 2 weeks from now.
If we stayed one more episode, that would have been my favorite routine.
Yeah.
That would have been my favorite routine.
You already had something in mind?
We had the sketch, the blueprint of it all. It was blowing my mind that we were doing what we were doing.
Oh.
And I that's what hurt the most. When you hear that clip of me saying, I wish the world could see what we still had in store, that's what I meant. I was like, that routine would have been so good.
Dang.
Season 2. If you bring us back though, maybe.
Maybe.
Oh, if this gets a season 2, the amount of teams that are gonna come together for this, it's gonna be a show. I wish I got to talk to Honor Roll more while we're filming the show, because they have so much experience being on TV and skating on TV. Like, you can tell.
You can tell.
They know what it looks like when they skate being recorded. Some teams, it's so different when you're looking at it in live and in a camera, because the spaces between a person become so much bigger. And so you can tell that they really know what they're doing and they have been camera trained. And oh my gosh, it's just beautiful to watch their routines in person and
honestly, in person and on screen. They have I don't even know what it is. It's like a momentum around them. Yeah, that's honestly what I'm saying in my head, because it's like they have it. Whatever it is, they have it. And it's like each member, I touched on this in episode 4, because there's one moment of like for Bad Boys Skate Crew where Bunny is expressionless. Like, zero expression in her face. And the camera is on her. And it's like, you don't know if the camera's on you necessarily, but you have to think that the camera's on you at all times. Because of that. And it's those moments where I'm like, oh, now she'll know that.
As an artistic skater, I just always assume that I'm being recorded or somebody's looking at me and watching me. You trained me that the most.
I remember having a moment when I was competing where the judges were over there, and then I got to the other side and kind of like, make sure your mouth can still move. You know how you like wipe your teeth and stuff to make sure you're not stuck, because sometimes you're smiling so much in competition that your face like gets stuck in that.
Lips got stuck to my teeth and I'm like,
That's why people even put like Vaseline. I wanted to do that to like clear my mouth, but the judges who weren't judging me were sitting right there, and I was like, oh man, I still have to like turn it on. And then at the other corner, like Don Toe was filming.
Oh,
and I was
my
like,
gosh.
oh man, they're everywhere. So that was probably the best training for like TV was artistic skating, because you always have to be on.
Yes. And even they're recording our rehearsals. They caught me off guard one time and they used that clip and I was like, oh.
I know the clip you're talking about.
Yeah. I was like, what am I doing?
But you just look like you were concentrating. Like you...
I know, but being like the perfectionist artistic part of me came in. I was like, stand up. Why are you hunched?
All right. If there's nothing else, you want to wrap
that might
it
be
up?
it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on here.
Thank you for having me.
This is so fun. If you have any other questions for myself or for Natalie, please let us know. And you can follow her at that Natalie Chen and me at that Nicole Fiore. And yeah, we'll see you later. Bye. I almost wore a shirt that looks just like that.
I learned everything from you, so that makes sense.
Leaf frame. GTFO. The move you do on the ground where you like, it's the breakdancing move.
Oh, the coffee grinder.
The coffee grinder.
Your brother helped me with that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do it. Just like that.
Start this all over. Blah, 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 blah. Remind me of the question.
Brett is FaceTiming me. Wait.
Damn it, Brett.
I don't know if that's legal. Oh, I said you weren't allowed to drink it unless it was pinky up. Stuck where you have to pull off your sock? No? I'm gonna cut all this as like ending things that don't make any sense. That's gonna be so funny. 4 hours after.
Oh, because they're not dried all the
No,
way.
but they should be dry.
No, they're not dried.
I gotta skate within 24 hours usually.
You gotta get some flip-flop skates then.
None of us are the smartest. Let's be real. We just know some stuff. Now we have to FaceTime Brett and see what he wants. That was 51 minutes.
Wow. We actually filmed like a full podcast.
For real.